Hey YouTube, Maxie 2021 here, coming in with another Hall Sliced Industry video, this time for December 2018. There's a lot of stuff to go over, so I'm just going to get right into it. First up, I'll show the games and then get to everything else. We got Katamari Damacy Reroll, a remake of the original Katamari Damacy. The Switch version adds motion controls, but I couldn't figure out how to get them to work for some reason. I don't know if you have to have the dock facing a certain way, or if you're able to do it in handheld mode, or at least with the Joy Cons detached. Uh, I mean, it works, but I couldn't get it to work properly, so I don't know what I was doing wrong. The only minor nitpick I would have is that this version doesn't include the original English voice tracks that they had in the first game for the cutscenes, but maybe they didn't include them for budget cost or something. I mean, not that it's a deal breaker. I just miss being able to listen to what I first heard when I originally played it or whatever. But yeah, if you played the original and you're expecting uh, English voice acting, that's the one thing that's not included. Though I'm sure on the PC release for Reroll, you can mod in the English from the original version. I think I saw something about it on Steam recently. Uh, Also, it's $30, so if you haven't played the original Katamari Damacy, then it's definitely worth picking up if you have a Switch or a computer. And also, there's no reversible cover art, but it's whatever. And then releasing on the same day as this, we got Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I used the reversible cover art that's got the entire roster, at least on launch. Here's the regular cover art. Definitely the best Smash has been since, I guess most people would say Melee, but yeah, it's pretty good. Also, I went to the midnight launch for this. They gave out this little pen with the Smash Bros. Logo. They also gave out these little analog stick grip things with Smash Bros. Logo. And then they gave out a poster, so that's cool. But, anyways, moving on. I did an unboxing for this, the Yomawari, the Long Night Collection Collector's Edition. Not really much else to say. I also got one of the things I got for Christmas was this Switch Pro controller that's got the face buttons for a GameCube controller, and you can swap out the C stick for a analog stick, so you can use it like a regular Pro controller, but the only caveat is that you have to have it plugged into the dock, so you can't use it while the Switch is undocked. But I think my best friend said it was Actually, I don't remember how much he said it costed, but I think he did mention that it's cheaper than the regular Pro controllers. So if anybody needs another controller, but they don't want to shell out $70 for a regular Pro controller, this gets the job done. I don't know what other colors these come in, but it works pretty good. So, yeah, that's cool. Also got some bootleg pens my mom got on Wish.com. And yeah, it's just Mario Sprite and Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, I think. But with this, I can actually say green Mario and mean it, since this is just a recolor of this. But they got the L for Luigi's hat on here, so that's cool. Next up, we got this aluminum plate and a postcard. Now, I mentioned I briefly talked about the Umihara Kawase series at one point in time in a previous video, but there's this website that's similar to Limited Run Games, but they're based in Germany, I think. At least going by the back of this aluminum plate, it says made in Germany, so I guess they're based in Germany. It's called Strictly Limited. I think there might be a games somewhere in the URL on the website. But they teamed up with the folks that make the Umihara Kawase series to do a physical release of the third game, Sayonara Umihara Kawase. Now, yeah, I might as well go over on the back, they got her swinging from the spot where you would place a stamp. But, yeah, brief history on this series. The original Umihara Kawase game came out on the Super Famicom in Japan back in 1994, but it was Japan only. And then the sequel, Umihara Kawase Shun, came out in 97, I think, on PS1. And then those two games got ported a bunch of times. And eventually, Sayonara Umihara Kawase, the third game, got released in 2013, if I remember correctly, on the 3DS. And it was the first game in the series that got an English release. Though, for the English release, they changed the name to Yumi's Odd Odyssey. For some reason, they're actually going to go with that name if Umihara Kawase Shun got an English release, but this one happened first. And then, about a year or so later, the Vita port of Sayonara got released, and they titled it Sayonara Umihara Kawase Plus. And we didn't get the Vita version until about a year later, unless it came out in Japan in 2015. Then we got it the same year. But the thing about the Vita port is that aside from upscaled graphics or better looking graphics, better frame rate or whatever, it also included the original game for the first time in English. And what else? Yeah, and then in 2015, all three games got ported to Steam, and I wrote reviews for all three of them the day they got released or ported to Steam. And Then last year, I found out that these guys were doing a print release for the game. Hence why there's a second plus. But I pre-ordered the collector's edition, and they said it wasn't going to be shipping out until sometime early this year, so I'm expecting that either this month or next month maybe. But as far as the gameplay goes, it's a physics-based platformer where she uses a fishing line to swing around levels and stuff, and I guess you could compare it to Bionic Commando, though I've never played the original Bionic Commando. Yeah, it's really good stuff. And it's also my all-time favorite game series. But, yeah, as far as releases, you can get the third game on 3DS or Vita or Steam. And you can get the first two games on Steam as well. But the Vita version of the third game comes with the first game. And then, yeah, that's about it. They had two separate plates. They had this one, and then they had another one with her sanding or something. And that other one sold out before I had a chance to get it, but I was able to get this one before it sold out. And they threw in the postcard for free, so that's cool. So, nice collector's item. Let me just move some stuff over. Here, look at the cat. Okay, next up, that's it for the games. So next up, we got some anime. A friend of mine got me this for Christmas or my birthday, I forget which one he said. But it's the first Blu-ray set for Hunter x Hunter, the 2011 anime. And it has the first 13 episodes. If I remember correctly, I think that's the end of the first arc. It's been a while since I've watched any of the 2011 anime, so I don't exactly remember which episode 13 is. Even though I'm caught up with the manga whenever it comes off a hiatus. But, yeah, pretty cool to finally own some of the anime. I'm pretty sure it's still airing on Toonami right now. And I was watching it back when it first started airing, since I didn't have a chance to really watch it on Crunchyroll or through streaming or whatever. But, yeah, I just never got a chance to watch more of it at some point in time. So that's a bummer, but at least I can start watching it again from the beginning. Let's see. Next up, we got Volume 16 of My Hero Academia. This arc was pretty good. I know Season 4 is going to be covering this arc. And I think the next volume should be coming out in a few days from the time of this recording. So that's pretty cool. Still got to get caught up on Vigilantes, since I'm behind by one volume, I think. Yeah, it's a good arc. Let's see. My best friend's brother got me these for Christmas, 2 for Christmas, 2 for my birthday, in case he wouldn't be able to come over on my birthday last month. But he got me volumes 7, 8, 9, and 10 of Ultimo, and now I just need 11 and 12. I'll have the whole series. For anybody that's never heard of this manga, it was a collaboration between Stan Lee and the guy that did Shaman King. And Stan Lee came up with the original concept or whatever, and then God, I forget how to pronounce his name. I'm just gonna say Shaman King guy. Yeah, that dude, he did the rest of it with assistants, I guess. But yeah, rest in peace, Stan Lee. I'm probably going to wait until I get the last 2 volumes before jumping back into this, because I haven't read past volume 6 in, I think, 6 years? It's been a while. So, I only remember some of the stuff that happens. Anyways, next up we got... I got these, and I buy 2 get 1 free sale, because I was doing some Christmas and birthday shopping in December for someone. I got the 2nd volume of Pop Team Epic. Haven't had a chance to read it yet, but going by the panels on the back and from what I've seen online, definitely looking forward to it. And then I got volume 74 of One Piece. And oh wait, no. I got this one separately. This one I got in a buy 2 get 1 free sale. I would have gotten one of the volumes I'm missing between 68 and 77, but this was the only one they had at Books A Million that I didn't currently own at that point. And then I saw on Amazon that these 3 volumes were going for about $4.71 each, and I didn't want to pass that up. But volumes 85, 86, and 87 of One Piece. So I'm getting closer to getting caught up with the English releases, even though I've been up to date online for years, since I think 2010. Yeah, sounds about right. 2010, 2011. But I think most recent volume's 88? 88 or 89. We're getting pretty close to catching up with the Japanese volumes. So that's cool. Next up... Oh wait, I almost forgot to show something. Well, battery's getting low, so I'm gonna have to wrap this up. And since the battery's getting low, flash turned off, whatever. First up, I got this Serble figure as a Christmas present. I put this gun in her hand because I had an extra gun from a gun kit I got for a birthday present several years ago. But I did put a spare beam saber in one of her hands, but it broke. So that sucks. But yeah, at least she's ready to take on Kadokawa for what they did after season 1. Anyways, over here I got this Madoka figure. I got this one from Loot Crate's online store. They had some extra stuff that they were selling online that I guess didn't get sold in any of their anime-based Loot Crates or whatever, even though they have other stuff. And it was on sale for about $5.99. Pretty good quality prize figure, I guess. There's one that goes with this of Homura, but I haven't seen that one. I don't know if they put it in any of their anime crates or whatever. But speaking of Loot Crates, Anime Crates. From what I can tell, the month that they had this figure included, they also included the next thing I'm about to show. We got a variant cover of Volume 1 of K-On! And for this cover, they literally just took this image, but put it on the front cover. Everything else is the same, except for, like, there not being a price tag. Since on the back of the regular volume, there's a price tag and a barcode. This one doesn't have a price tag or barcode. But, one thing I wanted to point out, and it's something that I don't get to really talk about often, I feel like this variant cover slightly misses the mark for the original volumes, or like specifically what one of the later volumes does with its cover. And like, I think the cover looks cool, and it was also $1.99. So since I'm the only fan of the K-On! Manga, I felt it was my duty to add this to my collection. Now, the thing with the original volumes is, if you pay attention to who's on the covers of which volumes, like on Volume 1, it has Yui, Volume 2 has Mio, Volume 3 has Ritsu, Volume 4 has Mugi. Now, if you take into consideration which characters are on the covers of which volumes and the color of each volume, if you look at the cover for K-On! College, you'll notice that they're in the same order that they were in on the volume covers, and they're wearing shirts that are the same colors as the volumes they were on the covers of. And another thing, for the letters for college, they're all colored in with the shirts that are on the front and the back. And these characters were introduced in this volume. And the stars under Kakafly's name are also in the same color order, I guess. So that's pretty neat. I still gotta finish this volume. I don't remember why I put it off, but in contrast to that, the other sequel slash spin-off volume K-On! High School is pretty standard, I guess. Not much going on there. Okay, just about done. So, a friend of mine had told me that this one series I'm about to show was going out of print, or it's already out of print and just hard to find. And while I'm waiting on the first volume to arrive, but I ended up ordering 3 of the 4 omnibus volumes for this series through eBay, since I found them for pretty cheap. And then a friend of mine got me the second and the fourth one, second and fourth volumes, and another friend got me the first volume from another website, but I'm still waiting on it to come in. And I'm talking about Frank and Fran. So we got the second omnibus, the third omnibus, and the fourth omnibus. And then I got 2 extra copies. So, yeah, I might sell these or keep them. I don't know. But, yeah, I originally read this back in 2013 when I downloaded a bunch of scans. And, yeah, I just read through a bunch of stuff back then. That's when I was really getting into reading manga, even though I had been buying it for several years up to that point. But, yeah, this is a personal favorite of mine. and I just don't really talk about it much because I'm not sure how well I could go about explaining it, at least without grossing out somebody because of the gory aspect to it, or something. Though I'd say maybe check out the video that Klimps did on it. I think he did a good job explaining it and talking about it or whatever. So, yeah, there's that. Not sure when the first volume is going to come in, but that one's the most sold out. So if you're planning on picking up the volumes for Frank and Fran and you haven't done so yet, better get to that soon before it's completely sold out. Next up, we got Volume 4, Sleepy Princess, which I just did a video on this series because, like I mentioned in the video, I wanted to wait until this specific volume came out before doing a video because of the Komi-san crossover chapter. And, yeah, it's pretty good. Definitely worth checking out. Lastly, we got Volume 11 of Komi-san Can't Communicate. And I actually ordered this for my birthday, but it was supposed to arrive the week of my birthday, but it arrived on New Year's Eve. So, yeah, that's a great way to end the new year. A great way to end the video. But I do have one more thing to show. I don't usually show off shirts that I get, but anybody that watched the Sleepy Princess video I did might have noticed this shirt. There was a sale on, I think Teespring is the website this is being sold on. A friend of mine got a long sleeve version of this and told me about it, and then I was going to order it, but something came up, and another friend of mine offered to get it for me, and yeah, pretty good Christmas present. So yeah, that's everything for December. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.